On the night before the wedding, my husband went to meet his first love who had just returned to the country alone. When he came back home, he reeked of alcohol and drunkenly accused me of being dull. "Emily, I've already promised to marry you. What more do you want? Why did I give up Lena and choose to date a workaholic like you in the first place?" I silently saved the video of his affectionate moments with Lena and informed all the relatives and friends who were going to attend the wedding banquet. "Well, it's just as well not to get married, Emily. I heard that you and Andrew are getting married soon? Congratulations. Haha, when we were at school, Andrew was the famous heartthrob of our #1 high school. It's a pity that he was so focused on his studies that even the most beautiful goddess couldn't catch his eye. As expected of our sister Ran, you really have the skills to melt such an iceberg." Listening to my friend's teasing, I just smiled and didn't take it to heart. "Strange, Emily, why hasn't your guy shown up yet?" my friend Sophia muttered. I was also feeling strange. Usually at this time, Andrew would have already got off work. I had told him in advance that there was a dinner party today. And according to Andrew's meticulous personality, he couldn't be late. "I'll give him a call." I dialed the number 10 times. Looking at the red icon on the calling app, I couldn't help but feel a bit uneasy. Seeing that my complexion was not right, Sophia quickly changed the topic. "However, it wasn't easy for you and Andrew. You've known each other since childhood, but it wasn't until you were nearly 30 that you finally got together. Ah, I even want to write a romance novel about you too." She was right. Andrew and I were indeed childhood sweethearts. However, before college, his attitude towards me was no different from that towards others. He had always been cold from start to finish. It wasn't until we went to college that Andrew couldn't withstand my fierce pursuit and finally agreed to try dating me for a while. Just as I was feeling a myriad of emotions, Sophia's complexion suddenly became a bit strange. "What's the matter?" "Well, Emily, I'll show you a photo. Don't get angry, okay?" I couldn't help but laugh. "I'm getting married tomorrow. It would be too inauspicious to get angry on such a happy occasion, wouldn't it?" Hearing this, she carefully placed her phone in front of me. I didn't know until I saw it, and it gave me quite a shock. It was a WeChat Moments post with the caption, "The Last Frenzy." The picture was taken in a bar, a place full of neon lights. Several young people were laughing wildly at the camera. But my attention wasn't on them, but on the two figures cuddling behind them. The man was hugging the woman, their clothes half open, looking extremely affectionate. The man was, of course, Andrew. And the woman was Lena, his first love in high school. I stared wide-eyed, completely unable to believe that the usually meticulous and gentle Andrew could have such a side. "Well, Emily, don't get angry first. Maybe it's just a problem with the camera angle." Sophia smiled awkwardly and patted my shoulder to comfort me. With their clothes torn open like that, could it still be a camera problem? I was so angry that I laughed. I grabbed my coat and left the restaurant without looking back, heading straight for the bar. Sophia quickly followed. On the way, I opened this mutual friend's WeChat Moments, but only saw a horizontal line. Anger welled up in my heart. Tomorrow was the wedding banquet of Andrew and me, and he was having a secret meeting with Lena at this time. He clearly didn't take me, the bride-to-be, seriously at all. If other people saw this, what would they think of me? What would they think of my parents? After arriving at the bar, I went straight to Andrew. Suppressing my anger, I asked coldly, "We're getting married tomorrow. What do you mean by coming to such a sleazy place to fool around?" Andrew didn't expect that I would suddenly appear here. Caught red-handed in public, he couldn't save face. Why are you here?" Because there were many people around, I didn't want to be too harsh in front of others. After all, we were going to have our wedding tomorrow, and I still wanted to save some face for Andrew. "I don't mean to blame you. It's just that we're getting married tomorrow, and it won't sound good if you come to the bar with another woman the day before the wedding." "What do you mean?" Hearing my words, Andrew suddenly darkened his face. "What do you mean by it won't sound good? Lena and I didn't do anything." "Emily, don't be so dirty-minded." "I'm dirty-minded?" It's the two of you who are doing things that are easily misunderstood. Look at what you look like now? Do you know that the suit you're wearing is the one we're going to use for our wedding tomorrow? Andrew suddenly realized and quickly lowered his head, only to see that the white shirt of the suit was full of lipstick marks. There was a flash of guilt in his eyes. Just as he was about to explain, Lena beside him pressed his hand and said in a low voice, "Sister Emily, it's all my fault. After I returned to the country, I heard that brother Andrew was going to get married, so I just wanted to help him celebrate properly. There's no other meaning. Please don't think too much. I don't believe Andrew would be deceived by such low-level green tea tactics." Moreover, the two of them had briefly dated in high school. Now they were showing up here with their clothes in disarray. Any normal thinking person should be able to understand what they were thinking. Yeah, Lena was just being kind. Don't make a fuss here. Hurry up and go home. The friends around also quickly came to his rescue. Sister-in-law, don't be angry. Tomorrow is the wedding. It's not auspicious to get angry on such a happy occasion. Yeah. Andrew is so clueless. We'll beat him up for you later. Haha, just kidding. Everyone was playing games. Sister-in-law, don't mind. Didn't we all say it when we got engaged? If Andrew dares to bully you, none of us brothers will let him off. Hearing them coming to the rescue of Andrew and Lena, I just sneered. On the night before the wedding, William passionately kissed his childhood sweetheart at the bachelor party he held. The childhood sweetheart posted the video on Moments with the caption, "Tomorrow you're getting married, but the bride isn't me. The promise we made when we were kids is going to be a regret after all. Let's go crazy one last time tonight." I, who was too nervous to fall asleep because of the wedding, suddenly calmed down and silently gave it a like. Before long, William called to scold me, "Why did you randomly like it? Olivia is so guilty that she's crying now. If you don't apologize to her, there's no need to hold the wedding tomorrow." I gave a bitter smile and apologized as he asked, "It's not that I'm cowardly or a bootlicker, but because, my marriage can fail, but my wedding can't. This is my mother's last wish." "Why did you randomly like it? Don't you know that Olivia is so guilty that she's crying now? She thought she made you unhappy. We said when we were kids that we would get married when we grew up, but I can't marry her now. I just wanted to help her make up for the regret." "Why do you have to be so jealous? Can't you be more magnanimous?" The angry voice of my fiancé William came from the receiver, making me feel as if I had done something terribly wrong, but actually, I just gave a like to Olivia's Moments post. Just now, I couldn't fall asleep due to too much pressure, so I could only kill time by browsing my phone. While browsing, I came across Olivia's Moments post, which was a video of her and William passionately kissing. In the video, they hugged and kissed each other as if there was nobody else around, seeming eager to blend into each other's bodies. Those familiar faces around were smiling and cheering for them. Some even said, "They are truly a match made in heaven. It's such a pity that they have to be separated tomorrow." And the caption Olivia wrote was, "Tomorrow you're getting married, but the bride isn't me. The promise we made when we were kids is going to be a regret after all. Let's go crazy one last time tonight." Miraculously, my nervous mood calmed down, and I even gave it a like. I knew William was having a bachelor party. He said that since he was getting married tomorrow, he wanted to enjoy the single life one last time. But I didn't expect that the enjoyment he mentioned was like this. I thought I would call immediately to question him as I used to, crying and making a fuss, demanding that William give me an explanation, but I didn't. I was surprisingly calm in my heart, as if I were watching someone else's story. I put down my phone and was about to go to sleep when William's call came in. I didn't expect that without saying a word, I could still get scolded by him. I didn't mean anything else. I just thought the Moments post she sent was nice, so I liked it. I patiently explained. But William didn't believe it. "Don't I know what you're thinking? Haven't you done enough jealous things over the years? I really didn't expect you to become so jealous now. I've told you that there's nothing between Olivia and me. We're just good friends who grew up together. If there was something between us, would it be your turn?" I found it funny, good friends, Are there good friends who hug and kiss each other inseparably? He always liked to use that last sentence to emphasize the innocence between him and Olivia. Every time I got angry, jealous, or hysterical, he would say that. In the past, when I heard this sentence, I would only feel wronged and helpless because what he said was indeed reasonable. After all, they had known each other earlier than I did. But now, hearing this sentence, I had no other feeling except wanting to laugh. I was really tired from preparing for the wedding these 2 days, and I didn't have the energy to argue with him, so I gave in first. I'm wrong. What do you want? Probably he didn't expect that I would admit my mistake so readily. After being stunned for a few seconds, he said, apologize. You must apologize to Olivia, or there's no need to hold the wedding tomorrow. He was always like this. No matter who was really at fault, as long as it involved Olivia, his heart would always be on Olivia's side. In the past, I would rather die than apologize. I would loudly question him about who was the most important person in his heart. But now, thinking of the wedding that I had been preparing for months and my mother who was terminally ill and whose only wish was to see me get married, I compromised dejectedly. Okay, turn on the speakerphone. I'll apologize to Miss Olivia in person. The other side was silent for a long time and then asked uncertainly, are you serious? Are you really willing to apologize? Before I could answer, he warned me again, I'm telling you, don't play any tricks. Otherwise, you can attend the wedding alone tomorrow. He knew how to take advantage of my weaknesses. I explained feebly, no, I'm sincerely apologizing to Miss Olivia. Soon, Olivia's voice came from the receiver, Brother William, don't treat Sister Elena like this. She loves you so much that she doesn't like me. I don't mind. As long as you two are okay, it doesn't matter if I'm a bit wronged. Listening to Olivia's pretentious words, I felt a bit annoyed in my heart. Are we done? Can I start? Miss Olivia, I'm seriously saying sorry to you. Please forgive me. I just wanted to end this as soon as possible so that I could get some sleep. I hadn't had a good sleep for a long time. But soon, Olivia's voice with a crying tone rang out again, Sister Elena, don't say that. How can I bear it when you say that? There's really nothing between Brother William and me. You have to believe us. Obviously, she wasn't satisfied with my apology, so she was hinting to William to push me further. William also got her hint, and his angry voice came into my ears again. Elena, is this how you apologize? Can't you be more sincere? If you continue like this, I'm not sure if I can show up at the wedding tomorrow. My heart was filled with a sense of helplessness. Sometimes, it's really hard to live in this world alone. Realizing this, instead of softening my attitude towards Andrew, I became even colder. Mr. Andrew, do I need to repeat what I just said? Seeing that I was unyielding, Andrew finally became impatient. Fine, very well, Emily. This is your own choice. Just don't come begging to me in the future. Am I really that worthless in your eyes? Andrew packed his luggage with a cold face. Before leaving, I saw Lena giving me a provocative smile, as if proclaiming her victory. I took a deep breath and dialed the phone of my family. Hello, Luke. I want to collect some information about the Lena family. No, not Sophia's family. It's another Lena family. They have an only daughter named Lena. Okay, thank you. Andrew and I grew up together since childhood. Now that things have turned out like this, I can ignore his feelings, but I can't ignore the feelings of Uncle Marcus and Aunt Nora. If Lena had ulterior motives in approaching the Marcus family, I must tell them about it. However, what I didn't expect was that this matter wasn't over yet. The next day, as soon as I arrived at the company, I heard my secretary whisper, President Emily, Andrew is here to see you. What does he want from me? Didn't we already cancel the wedding between us? There was no need to hide this kind of thing. After all, it was Andrew who wronged me first. There was no point in me hiding it. Yes. He came early this morning and brought some breakfast, like seafood porridge, steamed buns with meat filling, and so on. The secretary's expression was a bit awkward. Even she knew that I was allergic to seafood, but Andrew, who had been with me for over 20 years, didn't. Thinking of this, I found the relationship of these 20-odd years even more ridiculous. As soon as I entered the office, Andrew came over with a concerned look. Emily, I know you're busy with work every day and don't have time to eat breakfast. But people need to eat. I specially made some seafood porridge and buns for you this morning. Don't be angry about what happened before. Let's set a new date for the wedding, okay? I'll stay with you all day today and go to work at night. I looked at him and just felt an extreme headache. Andrew, I need to make a few things clear to you. First, I'm allergic to seafood. His complexion changed. Second, you still have Lena's perfume smell on you. It's very pungent. Stay away from me. Third, you're not going to work tonight. You're going to celebrate Lena's return to the country. I've already decided to break up with you completely. There's no need to lie to me about this kind of thing, right? Emily, how long do you want to keep making a fuss? I'm a grown man. I've already lowered my stance this much. What more do you want? I got up at 5 o'clock this morning just to make some breakfast to cheer you up. Haven't I done enough? I sighed. Andrew, you're wrong again. During the 20-odd years we've been together, haven't I always been the one with a lower stance? Now that I've changed my attitude a little, you can't stand it? Also, this whole thing is your fault. Don't make it seem like I'm the one who wronged you. Finally, getting up at 5 o'clock is normal for me. Don't make it sound like such a big deal. Andrew took a deep breath, unable to bear it any longer, and suddenly threw the plastic bag in his hand into the trash can. Ungrateful, I'll be waiting for the day you come to me, Emily. He turned around and left. Standing upstairs, I saw Lena getting out of his car. The gloom on Andrew's face disappeared instantly, leaving only tenderness and pity for his female companion. In the evening, I went to Sophia's place and unusually ordered a lot of takeout. When I was living with Andrew before, he would always say that I had a bad figure and asked me to go to the gym and overly control my diet. But after meeting Sophia that day, she said that I was too thin and asked me to take good care of myself. It seems that it's not that I have a bad figure, but that Andrew never really liked me. That's why he was always finding faults. By the way, have you heard the latest rumors? What? Sophia sneered. The Lena family has just returned to the country not long ago and has been targeted by the police who investigated them before. Now Lena and her parents are trying to find ways everywhere. Don't believe me? Look. With that, Sophia opened a group chat, and several chat records inside were particularly conspicuous. Recently hooked up with a naive rich second-generation heir. He's handsome and rich. Unfortunately, his family is too strict and he doesn't have many connections, so he can't help me much. The rich second-generation heir said I was his first love. Hilarious. What era is this? Still talking about first love? Read too many novels? By the way, do you guys also read female-oriented novels? Damn it, there are more and more things recently. I want to find time to go on a date. Is there any brother willing to come? Below, this person also sent a selfie, which was Lena herself. Regarding the matters of the Lena family, Lena doesn't dare to say it openly in the group. She can only secretly date rich second-generation heirs and ask them to help solve their difficulties. Look, she's dating another one again. As a person who keeps herself clean and is strict with herself, I can hardly accept Lena's behavior. Thinking that Andrew would be deceived by such a woman, I couldn't help but feel sorry for Uncle Marcus and Aunt Nora. You're not going to tell him about this, are you? Not for him, but for his parents. When our Emily family was down and out, the two elders helped us a lot. I sighed and was about to drive to find Andrew. When I drove to his house, I didn't see Andrew, but I saw Lena. Sister Emily, why are you here? Lena glanced inside the room and said a bit embarrassedly, sorry. Brother Andrew is taking a bath. If you want to make up with him, I'm afraid you'll have to come back tomorrow. You're thinking too much. I'm not here to make up with him. I just have something to say to him. That'll have to wait until tomorrow. Lena didn't bother to pretend anymore and clearly intended to stop me from going in. I was just about to push her aside, but before I even touched her, Lena fell to the ground by herself. Emily, what are you doing? Andrew just walked out of the bathroom, not even having time to dry his hair. He quickly walked forward and helped Lena up. No. I didn't touch her. Describing Lena's tricks as low-end would even be a compliment to her. Such entry-level green tea tactics can be seen through by anyone. Sophia, standing behind me, couldn't help but roll her eyes. She used to think that Andrew was a top student, not easily tempted by beauty, and was extremely sensible. But now, damn it, he's just incredibly stupid. Who else would Lena target if not him? Forget it. I'm too lazy to defend myself against such silly things. Anyway, I have something to say to you. Ask this woman to leave for a while. Andrew sneered. What, are you finally going to admit defeat to me? If you want to talk to me alone, it's simple. Apologize to Lena, and then call my parents to say that the wedding wasn't cancelled. It was just postponed temporarily because of your unreasonable behavior. After you've done these things, I'll consider getting back together with you. Damn it. Sophia couldn't help but swear her brow. Are you even human? It's almost winter. How can there still be such a spring bamboo, meaning someone who is out of touch with reality? Emily was doing it for your own good. If you don't know the truth soon, your parents' savings will all be lost because of you. What, brother Andrew, forget it. Sister Emily didn't do it on purpose. It's okay if she doesn't want to apologize. I held my forehead, feeling that all my sincere feelings over the years had been wasted on a stupid pig who just didn't get it. Anyway, all I have to say is that if you don't apologize to Lena, don't even think about getting back together with me. Andrew frowned, looking as if he was about to kick me out. The neighbors, hearing the commotion, came out wrapped in their clothes to watch the show. Andrew cares about his reputation. Don't I, Emily, care about mine? Fine. Since he's being so decisive, there's no need for me to save any face for him either. I'll take care of Uncle Marcus and Aunt Nora. But I can't just let him get away with cheating on me with Lena. I will make him and Lena pay the price. Sophia, let's go. Sophia cursed a couple of times and followed me into the car. Emily, what are you going to do? Coincidentally, just as she finished speaking, Luke called. Luke. Miss, we did investigate the Lena family carefully. Initially, there was a problem with their capital chain, which led to disputes over not paying employees' salaries. Later, it evolved into contract fraud, suspected commercial crimes, and a series of other incidents. However, due to their underhanded operations, the police didn't have enough evidence, which gave them the chance to flee. Miss Lena of the Lena family back then left many handles. It won't be difficult to collect evidence. Do you need any help? Yes. Organize the evidence into a file and send it to my email, okay? What about President Marcus and the others? He had also heard about what happened between me and Andrew. Poor Uncle Marcus was still kept in the dark. I'll handle it. Tell Mom and Dad not to worry. I understand. No matter what happens, the Emily family will unconditionally stand by you, miss. I hung up the phone and dialed the hotel's number. Hello, yes, it's me, Emily. Please prepare everything again, just like the previous scale. I'll pay double the price. And please do me another favor. Okay. That's it for now. If there's anything, just call me directly. Emily, you don't still want to marry Andrew, do you? Sophia opened her mouth in surprise. What are you thinking? I did like him, but that was in the past. Ever since he cheated on me with Lena, I feel disgusted just looking at him. They've been disgusting me for so long. I can't just let it go. And now there are rumors flying everywhere. I don't care about myself, but I can't let my parents bear those gossips either. I need to let everyone know that it was Andrew who wronged me. I, Emily, have been wholeheartedly good to him from the beginning to the end. With that, I sent all the evidence such as the affectionate photos and videos of Andrew and Lena to the hotel. Seeing me do this, Sophia gave me a thumbs up. That's right. What are those stinky men worth? They're not worth our sister ran being sad for them. Tonight, we sisters will hold a banquet for you to celebrate you getting rid of that scumbag. During the banquet, Andrew also learned about the re-held wedding and didn't forget to call me to taunt me. Emily, since you wanted to get back together with me long ago, why were you acting so aloof this morning? I really didn't expect that President Emily would quietly re-hold the wedding. but forget it. I, Andrew, am magnanimous and won't argue with you, a little woman. After we get married, you're not allowed to have that attitude towards Lena anymore, and you have to apologize for pushing her down today. Do you understand? If you don't agree, I'll divorce you at any time." Before he could finish, I pressed the end call button and didn't forget to save the recording of this call and send it to the hotel contact. Get back together? What's wrong with Andrew's mind? He actually expected me to get back together with him. What a joke. Emily, never go back to my old flames. Since I've decided to break up with him completely, I'll do it thoroughly and cleanly. I'll never look back again. That day, countless guests arrived as scheduled. Andrew also changed into a suit and was waiting for me at the hotel. "One of you, call Emily." "What time is it already? Why isn't she here yet?" "Just ask her if she still wants to get married. If not, I'll take off my clothes and leave right now. Anyway, it's the old Emily family who will be embarrassed, not our Marcus family. Andrew, go out and take a look at the big screen. What's the matter? Why are you so flustered?" Andrew impatiently tugged at his tie, revealing the hickey accidentally left last night during his affectionate moment with Lena. He had just walked out of the private room, and before he could see what was going on, he saw a familiar figure approaching aggressively. "Dad? You bastard!" Uncle Marcus slapped him across the face and roared angrily, "I, Marcus, have always been lenient towards others and strict with myself. How could I have given birth to such a shameless bastard like you? Tell me, are those things on the big screen true or not? Tell the truth." What big screen?" Andrew covered his face and, glancing past Marcus, looked at the big screen behind him. At this sight, he was completely dumbfounded. On the big screen were countless photos of him and Lena lying on a big bed. The guests were buzzing with all kinds of remarks, and some of them even stormed out of the banquet hall in anger. "Filthy thing! How could I, Marcus, have raised such a filthy thing like you?" He was trembling with rage and tremblingly stretched out his hand and pointed at Andrew, asking, "Tell me, what's going on here?" "Dad, this. Andrew was completely stunned. He wanted to explain, but everything on the screen was real. With Uncle Marcus's influence in City A, it would be easy for him to find out whether these things were true or not. He knew that this was all my doing. But what he didn't understand was why these evidences were in my hands. I hid in the dark corner of the hotel and handed a stack of red banknotes to the manager. "Well done. If there's anything else in the future, I'll come to you. Thank you, President Emily, for your kindness." At this time, Andrew's mother, Aunt Nora, also walked over with disappointment in her eyes towards Andrew. "Mom, Dad, it's that woman Emily who's trying to ruin our family. That crazy woman. How could she?" Andrew stammered and couldn't even get a complete sentence out. He had no choice but to look towards the guest seats. I knew that he had brought that woman Lena here today with the intention of making a fool of me. But after the photos appeared on the big screen, Lena herself felt ashamed and had already left in a hurry. Why would she want to stay here any longer? "Don't give me that nonsense. I just want to ask you, are these photos, videos, and recordings real or not?" Uncle Marcus asked again. "Well, these are all real, but it's that woman Emily. It's all her fault. Why couldn't she just marry me obediently? Why did she have to make everyone unhappy? Dad, you have to support me." Slap. Uncle Marcus couldn't bear it any longer and slapped him again with both hands. The spittle from the people around almost drowned Andrew. I heard long ago that Professor Marcus had raised an outstanding son, but now it seems, he could even get involved with Lena. How disgusting. Doesn't he know what kind of person Lena is? Scumbag and slut, a perfect match. It's just pitiful that President Emily had poured so many years of her sincere feelings into such a scumbag. Andrew had always been a vain person. He could do without anything, but not without his face. Hearing the comments from others, his face instantly flushed red. The intense sense of shame made him not want to stay in this hotel for another minute. He actually pushed aside Uncle Marcus and Aunt Nora and rushed out of the hotel entrance, fleeing in a sorry state. "The matter isn't over yet," I sneered coldly, not intending to let them off so easily. Actually, I had guessed that after what happened today, Lena might abandon Andrew, but what I didn't expect was that she would be so ruthless and cruel. A few days later, Uncle Marcus and Aunt Nora came to apologize. I felt a bit guilty for making the two elders lose face along with Andrew that day, but it was also impossible for me to swallow my anger and let it go. We understand. We don't expect you to forgive that Andrew kid now. I just, still want to ask you for a favor. Could you introduce a few well-known lawyers to me? When Uncle Marcus said this, I found it really strange. The Marcus family was quite famous in City A. It wouldn't be difficult for them to find a few famous lawyers. Why did they come to ask me for such a small favor? And, what did they need lawyers for? Seeing my confusion, Uncle Marcus gave a bitter smile. Call it karma or whatever. Recently, Andrew has been accused of rape by a woman and is busy with the lawsuit. What? Rape? I was shocked. Did I ask at Lena? Not sure, but it should be her doing something underhanded, Uncle Marcus said with a gloomy face. Their whole family has hidden away like turtles. I can't even find them now. Tell me exactly what happened. Aunt Nora sighed, with tears in the corners of her eyes. After listening to the description of the two elders, I was able to roughly guess the truth of the matter. That day, after Andrew lost face at the hotel, he went to Lena for comfort. But with Lena's identity exposed to the public, she no longer intended to continue the entanglement with him. Instead, she wanted to find a time to take her parents and flee abroad again, planning to return to the country and rebuild their family business when the storm had passed. So Lena drugged Andrew and found another woman. According to Andrew himself, when he woke up early in the morning, there was a naked woman lying beside him, covered in bruises and looking pitiful. That afternoon, he was called to the police station for questioning. At that time, Andrew still had absolute trust in Lena and firmly believed that this couldn't be her doing. He even deliberately concealed Lena's existence during the interrogation. As a result, the evidence was complete and he was temporarily detained, waiting for the first trial. We do know some capable lawyers, but they think there's little chance of turning this case around because the other side has prepared the evidence too perfectly. And it was a hotel room with no surveillance cameras. Plus, Andrew was not in his right mind at that time. Maybe he really did something improper to that girl. Uncle Marcus had worried so much about Andrew's matter that his hair had turned white. My lawyers are busy recently. There are still a few good ones on my parents' side. I'll ask them to recommend them to you. I told a lie. Actually, the well-known lawyers I knew weren't busy at all, but I didn't want them to help Andrew, so I simply pushed this matter to my parents. If they had the same idea as I did, they would directly refuse Uncle Marcus and Aunt Nora. Of course, if they wanted to help Andrew, I wouldn't stop them either. Okay. Sharon, you're a good girl. It was Andrew who let you down. It's such a pity that you wasted more than 20 years of your feelings on him. After hearing Uncle Marcus's words, I couldn't help but feel a bit emotional too. Before the first trial, I also went to see Andrew once. It wasn't for anything else but to say goodbye to my past. He had been detained for only a short month until now, but he seemed like a completely different person. There was no trace of his former high spirits and gentle elegance. The present Andrew looked like a middle-aged old man. Emily, you came to see me? I was wrong about what happened before. I already know I was wrong, Emily. Please, just this once, please ask them to let me out. I've already asked Dad and Mom to give that woman hush money, but she refused no matter what. She's trying to put me to death. Andrew said with a bitter face. I know you still love me. You still have me in your heart. As long as you find a way to get me out of here, we'll get back together. Is that okay? Andrew, it seems you haven't figured out your place yet. I frowned and said, you have no place in my heart anymore. I have no feelings for you either. I came to see you today just to say goodbye to my past. I hope you don't overthink it. I couldn't hear Andrew's pleas and curses coming from behind me. Next, there was still Lena to deal with. After the first trial, Andrew was sentenced to 5 years in prison. A highly educated intellectual ended up behind bars with such a humiliating charge. It caused a huge stir in the city for a while. After all, City A wasn't that big, and there weren't many people in our circle. The news spread quickly, and everyone heard about this matter. However, not many people condemned Uncle Marcus and Aunt Nora, and more people felt sorry for them for raising such a scumbag. On the other side, I handed the evidence I had collected to the veteran police officer who had been in charge of the case involving Lena's family back then. After getting the evidence, he immediately organized his team to arrest the 3 members of Lena's family who were on the run. On the day Lena was arrested, I was also handling some business at the police station. Emily. You narrow-minded woman. Isn't it just that you lost to me in fighting for a man? A workaholic like you will never be liked by any man. Lena's green tea act disappeared completely. Her eyes were full of hatred when she looked at me. Her hair was all messy, probably because she had struggled too much when being arrested. You're overthinking it. I don't rely on men to live. After all, our Emily family isn't like your Lena family, a bunch of stray dogs running around everywhere. You have to sell your looks to handle everything for your family. My words hit Lena's sore spot. She cursed at me, wishing she could tear me into pieces. You and Andrew can have a nice date in prison. Don't worry, no one will disturb you this time. To my surprise, before Andrew's second trial began, he actually did meet Lena once because he had dated her before and the police needed to interrogate him. Lena. Get lost. Lena sneered, if it weren't for your big family business, why would I have chosen to get back together with you in the first place? Unexpectedly, the so-called young master of the Marcus family, who looks so glorious on the surface, is actually a useless piece of crap with no power at all behind the scenes. I really regret giving myself to you. What a waste of my time, Lena. Andrew stared at Lena for a long time before he could believe that the person in front of him was the woman he had been taking such good care of before. Didn't you approach me because you liked me? Did you get back together with me just for that money? Otherwise? Lena gave him a cold glance. You overconfident dog. Do you really think all women in the world should revolve around you? Without your parents' business, who would want to be with you? If you don't have a mirror, you can always pee and look at yourself. See what you look like now, dirty and stinky all over. I feel disgusted just talking to you. Lena was spouting vulgar words that were hard to listen to. Andrew finally woke up as if from a dream and realized that he had been deceived by Lena. Miss Emily, we'll interrogate Andrew next. Please leave temporarily, okay? I won't stay here to disturb your work. I'll leave first. Wait. Emily. Andrew's Adam's apple bobbed up and down. He was full of regret. Unfortunately, no matter how much he regretted now, I had no intention of forgiving him at all. Can't you really give me one more chance? Ahem, Mr. Andrew, please behave yourself. You're a person who has served a prison sentence. No matter how you look at it, I won't marry you again. There are infinite possibilities in my future. And Andrew and Lena, this scumbag and slut, will get their just desserts.